Good morning, children. This is lecture 4 of chapter Light. In this lecture, we will study about the refraction through a lens. What is a lens? A lens is a refracting medium bounded by two spherical surfaces or one spherical surface and a plane surface. Kind of lenses? Lenses are of two types. One is convex, which is also known as converging lens, and the second one is concave, which is known as diverging lens. Convex or converging lens. A convex lens is a thick in the middle and thin at the end. Okay, it's thick in the middle and thin at the end. This is also known as biconvex. A beam of light converges after passing through it. If the beam of lights are passing through it, it will converge after refraction, it will converge at a point. This is also called converging lens. Convex lens can be of three types. One is biconvex, this one. The second one is plano-convex, one side plane and one side convex. And the other one is concavo-convex, like this. Okay. Concave or diverging lens. A concave lens is thin in the middle and thick at the end. Just see this one. A beam of light passing through this concave lens, it diverges. This is called divergent lens also. Concave lens is also of three types. One is biconcave, this one. Second one is plano-concave, one plane and one concave. And the third one is convexo-concave, this type. Okay. Lens as a set of prisms. Refraction of light through a lens may be understood clearly by considering a lens being made up of set of prisms. Now just see the figure here. The first one is showing for convex lens, which may be considered as divided into different parts, and the middle parts are acting like a rectangular glass block, and the lower and the upper part, they are just looking like a prism. They are acting like a prism. The similar thing is happening with the concave lens also. Now to simplify it further, the central part of both concave and convex lens may be thought as a rectangular slab and one prism at either side of it. So this is a convex lens. Now if we'll divide it into three parts, the upper and the lower part, they are considered to be a prism, and the middle one is considered to be a rectangular glass slab. The same thing is happening for the concave lens. The two half is acting like a prism and the middle one is acting like a rectangular glass slab. Look at the diagram here. It is showing the converging action of a convex lens as a set of prism. As I have already told you that convex lens can be considered as made up of two prisms. The lower one is in the inverted position with respect to the upper one, and the middle one is acting as a rectangular glass block. If a beam of light is falling on the rectangular slab, normally that will pass undeviated. Okay. The beam of light falling normally on the rectangular slab passes undeviated. So this is the line. Now the ray of light, that is A, suppose A is falling on the upper part of the prism. Now the light after refraction, it will move away from the normal. So this will be the normal. The normal will be here. So naturally it will move away from the normal, but it will bend towards the undeviated beam. This one. Okay. For the lower prism, the ray of light is C, which is falling on the lower part of the convex lens, that is the lower prism. This is the normal drawn here. Now again the ray of light will move away from the normal, but it will move towards the undeviated ray, that means towards the B. So this is the ray. Now all these three rays are converging at a point that is F. Okay, and that is why it is known as a converging lens, because this converging effect of the rays is happening because of the convex lens. So convex lens is said as a converging lens also. Convex lens is known as a converging lens also because it is converging the ray of light in a particular point. Now we'll see the diverging action of a concave lens as a set of prism. Please see the figure here. A central beam of light incident normally on the central rectangular slab passes undeviated, that is the B. That B ray of light, beam of light, when it is falling on the central part, it will move undeviated because it is falling normally. A parallel beam of light incident on the top prism, that is A, after refraction bends away from the normal due to its orientation. Okay, so this is it will move away from the normal and also away from the central undeviated beam. Another parallel beam incident on the bottom prism, that is C, after refraction moves away from the normal because of its orientation and also away from the central beam, that is B. Okay, thus parallel beam diverges when produces backward, it meet at a virtual point F. So that is why the concave lens is known as a diverging lens. Some technical terms related to lens. First is center of curvature. A lens has two surfaces, this one and this one. Okay, now each surface is a part of a sphere. Now if I'll draw a sphere, then this part is the part of this sphere. Okay, and we can draw another sphere, suppose this one. Okay, so this is the part of the green sphere. Now this red sphere is having a center. This is the center. Suppose this center is C1. And the green sphere is also having a center. Suppose this one. This is C2. Okay. So what it is said, the center of the sphere whose part is the lens surface. That means this is C1. C1 is the center of curvature for the red part of the sphere, red part of the lens. C1 is the center of curvature for the red part of the lens, this one. Okay, and C2 is the center of curvature for the green part of the sphere. Okay, so if a lens has two spherical surfaces, there should be two center of curvatures of the lens. Am I clear? My lens is this one, which is having two center of curvatures. In this figure, this C1 and C2 are respectively the center of curvature of the surface 1 and surface 2. Now this is surface 1 and this is surface 2. I hope I am clear to you. This, is it okay, children? How to see the center of curvature for a concave lens? Now, let us consider two surfaces of the concave lens, this one and this one. This is a part of this sphere and this is the part of this sphere. Okay, now let me give some other color. That is, let me see, this is the part, this is the green color. So this part of the lens of a concave lens is taken from this sphere, this green sphere, whose center of this sphere is C1, suppose, and the red part of the lens is a part of the red sphere whose center of curvature is C2, suppose, whose center is C2 for the sphere. So C1 and C2 are the center of curvature for this concave lens. Okay, am I clear? Radius of curvature, the radius of the sphere whose part is the lens surface is called the radius of curvature. So please see the figure here. PC1 is the radius of curvature of surface 1 and PC2 is the radius of curvature of surface 2. Okay, you can understand from this one. PC1 is the radius of curvature of surface 1 and PC2 is the radius of curvature of surface 2. Okay. Now, the same thing is happening here for the concave lens. You can see here, that is P1C1 is the radius of curvature for the surface 1 and P2C2 is the radius of curvature for surface P2. Now, for a thin lens, it's a very thin lens, consider it's a very thin lens, P1C1 is equals to OC1 and P2C2 is equals to OC2. And O is the optical center. Okay, O is the optical center. Principal axis, the line joining the center of curvature of two surfaces of a lens is called the principal axis. Just look at the figure here. For the convex lens, this line, the line joining C1 and C2, this line is known as principal axis. For the concave lens, the line which is joining C1 and C2, this line is known as principal axis. Okay, optical center, it is the point on the principal axis of the lens such that a ray of light passing through this point emerges parallel to the incident ray. Okay, parallel to the incident ray. This is marked as O in this figure. Okay, and actually you can say this is the center of the lens. Optical center is just the center of the lens. Foci of a lens, a ray of light parallel to the principal axis after refraction meets the principal axis at a point. This point is called the focus of the lens. Just see here, this is a convex lens. Now in the convex lens, two rays are incidenting. After incidenting in the lens, convex lens, it will suffer refraction. And after the refraction, it will meet at a particular point on the principal axis. This particular point is known as focus. Alternatively, suppose from a particular point on the principal axis, two rays are incidenting on the lens, and after incidenting in the lens, it will suffer refraction, and after refraction, it will move parallel to each other or parallel to the principal axis. That particular point from where these two rays are coming, this particular point is known as focus. In case of a concave lens, the two rays, this one and this one, they are incidenting on the concave lens, and after refraction, these two rays will move in a divergent direction. If we'll extend these two divergent rays in the backward direction, they will appear to meet at a point. This point is known as focus. Alternatively, if two rays are coming and incidenting on the concave lens, after refraction, these rays will move parallel to each other as well as parallel to the principal axis. Then, if we'll extend the two incident ray in the backward direction, they will appear to meet at a point. This point is known as focus. So, a lens has two spherical sides, and light ray may be incident on any of the surfaces. Thus, a lens will have two principal foci, one on each side of the lens. Okay? Distance OF1 for both the lens, convex lens as well as concave lens, distance OF1 is called the first focal length and OF2 is called the second focal length. If the medium of the two sides of the lens is same, the radii of curvature of two sides same, then OF1 is equals to OF2. Focal plane, a plane normal to the principal axis and passing through the focus is called the focal plane. Now see here, this is the focus and a plane, this is a plane, straight line is a plane. That plane is passing through the focus which is perpendicular normal to the principal axis. This is the principal axis and this is the focal plane. Okay, that plane is known as focal plane. So obviously a lens will have two focus and that is why they are having two focal planes. What is focal length? A lens will have two focal lengths, OF1 and OF2. Already said in the previous slide. Okay, the distance between the optical center and the focus on either side of the lens is known as the focal length. Okay. Some important notes on terminologies. Very important to know all these points. The first one, if medium on both sides of the lens is same and the radius of curvature is also same, then focal length f1 is equals to f2. Focal length is given by f1 and f2. Now in the previous slide we said about the focal length OF1 and OF2. If the radius of curvature is same, then OF1 is equals to OF2. In that case, f1 is equals to f2. Okay. Now, by focus, one usually means the second focus. Convex lens has a real focus, while concave lens has a virtual focus. In convex lens, parallel light rays, which are parallel to the principal axis, that means this is the principal axis. Suppose the light rays are parallel to the principal axis, like this, they are parallel to the principal axis. Okay, they converge at focus, but parallel rays not parallel to the principal axis, like this also the parallel rays can be, which are not parallel to the principal axis. They converge at focal plane. Very important to know because this all will require for ray diagram. Similarly, in concave lens, parallel rays parallel to the principal axis converge at virtual focus, but oblique to the principal axis virtually converge at the focal plane. Okay. Next is focal length of a lens depends upon the refractive index of the lens material and the radii of curvature of two surfaces. If part of the lens is covered, focal length remains unchanged. Only incident light intensity is reduced, so does image intensity also. Okay. Difference between a convex and a concave lens. Convex lens, it is a thick in the middle and thin at the end. Concave, it is thin in the middle and thick at the end. It converges the incident ray towards the principal axis and it diverges the incident ray away from the normal. It has a real focus, it has a virtual focus. Refraction of light through an equiconvex and equiconcave lens. Please see the figure here. Any lens has certain thickness. Thus, an incident ray suffers two refraction at two surfaces. So, in the first case, the refracted ray bends towards the normal, and in the second case, it bends away from the normal. Just see here, this is the incident ray. So, in this surface, the first surface, that is surface 1, it will suffer a refraction. So that incident ray in the first surface, it bends towards the normal. This is the normal, so it is bending towards the normal, this blue line inside. Okay, then in surface 2, again it will suffer the refraction. Now it is going from glass to air, denser to rarer, so it will move away from the normal. Okay, the total deviation of the emergent ray will be the sum of the deviation at two surfaces. The same thing is happening in the concave lens also. Okay. This is the end of lecture 4. In the next lecture, we shall discuss the formation of image by lens, that is the ray diagram.